got a home field advantage here.
What a crowd, huh?
I know.
9 o'clock in the morning, drinking some beer. Only in Green Bay.
They started showing up at 3:30 in the morning.
For tomorrow night's draft.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a deal.
I know. So when it comes to draft week, are you any different than you are in other weeks preparing for the draft?
Well, I mean, you're juggling. We have our first phase of the offseason program, so right now we're doing it virtually because of just all the people that are congregating to Green Bay. And so you're just kind of juggling that schedule and doing the last second setting of the board.
But in dealing with the media, in what you say and how you say, because you don't want to tip your hand.
Sure.
Are you, like, how good are you at lying?
Just depends who you're asking.
So, like, when I say, who are you drafting?
Well, that's a great question. You know, that's what I usually say. Who are we drafting? I'm sure you've done a mock, so
No, I'm the only guy.
I'm sure somebody here has done a mock.
No, we do not. We are mock-free.
Okay.
We are mockless. But
there's some that I watch and I look at and I'm like, I hope not. And then there's others that I get really excited about. So,
but you have to. It's almost like you're preparing somebody for a deposition. You're just like, okay, let's create a mock draft. Now, how do we react to that? So you would go through scenarios probably in real time where somebody goes, all right, Cam Ward's off the board, Travis off the board, Ashton Genty off the board. So then you get to where you guys are.
Yeah, you know, that's something that our scouting department does more than what we do as a staff.
Oh, so you wouldn't get together in a room and go, okay, if this happens, then we do this.
No, but our scouting department does all that.
Okay.
So we focus more our time. Like I said, it's phase one of our off-season program, so the majority of our time this week is dedicated to our players.
I was talking to Mel Kiper about this, and I said, why do coaches and GMs put more faith or credence in things that happen after a season is over? So these guys haven't played any games, maybe the Senior Bowl. And Mel said, you're trying to get guys playing against guys who will play in the NFL. Because there are guys who are playing against guys who won't be in the NFL and trying to understand just how good somebody is. So how difficult is that to go, Ashton Genty, I see him, and man, he's dominating, but is he dominating against guys who will play in the NFL? Or Shedeur Sanders playing against somebody, or a wide receiver? So how do you then kind of read between the lines of that guy is legitimate?
Well, I think you always are looking for certain traits at every position, and obviously there's a lot of testing, and the guys are doing less and less of that, but you're just looking for traits. I do think it becomes more of a challenge when you're maybe at some of the lower levels, when guys just absolutely dominate the competition. It's easier when you're looking at some guys that are coming from some of these SEC programs where there's just more NFL talent on the field.
What are red flags to you?
Well, it just depends. There's character issues that come up, because I think if you get good people and that love the game of football, and that's always the thing that you're trying to find out throughout the draft process. But if you get guys that love the game of football and have high character, I feel like they have a chance of reaching their ceiling. So that is something that we're always looking for.
Okay, but what could you ask me that is going to reveal?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of background that goes into these guys, and that's where you rely so heavily on the scouting department. And certainly there's relationships that you have with people at schools, whether it's other coaches or whoever, and you're always trying to get people to give you the truth.
We're talking to Matt LaFleur, the Packers head coach. How often have you gone out for a game and you know it's going to be cold? And
it's almost every week.
But you have to put on a good front. You have to be tough, right? You can't be like all bundled up.
Yeah, you're right. So what I've learned is it doesn't matter. It's all about layering. So I might have like 7 layers of clothes on. Now, they might be very thin, but I like to wear a vest usually out on the field. But if I'm in a full coat, it's cold.
Okay, but you have good hair. How important is it to make sure that the hair is not covered up?
Well, it just depends. I try not to wear a hat, but
Yeah,
sometimes I do.
Yeah.
If they make hats that I like, then I'm more apt to wear them. Sometimes they don't always make the hats I like.
Okay, but you got good hair.
I appreciate
you know
that,
what I mean?
Dan. You know what? You've got gray hair as well.
I do. I have great and I have gray hair too. It's great.
Mine's coming in. It's starting to go.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get over the loss to the Eagles?
I mean, you got to flip the script pretty quickly. Obviously, it's disappointing, but I think that when you look at them, I think they were the best team probably in the NFL, and they proved it.
You know, we do get caught up on quarterbacks and wide receivers and all of that, and really it's offensive and defensive lines.
It's a big player. I mean, you look at they were dominant up front on both sides of the ball. Certainly, we had a hard time blocking them, and also conversely getting pressure on the quarterback. So they are built the right way.
The brotherly shove that the Packers came out, you guys are against. Would you have liked that to have remained anonymous? That there's a team that
it is what it is. We might have had some nudging towards that, but I'm not really going to get into that.
Did the commissioner say we need somebody to speak up?
I wouldn't say that
because I don't think the commissioner wants this.
No.
Can I say what I think happened?
Sure.
Okay. I think the commissioner nudged you guys to say, look, if you have a grievance, put your name to it. I'll owe you one, and because I don't think he wants that play to stay in the game.
Well, it's not a great football play, and then certainly when you look at what happened in the Washington Commander game where Frankie Louvu's launching over the top, which, I mean, it's a tough play to stop. We've actually had more success, and we had some studies ran. We've had more success with a traditional quarterback sneak than we have with, whatever you want to call it, twist, push, brotherly shove.
I think Philadelphia is still going to be dominating with the quarterback sneak.
I agree.
Because of that line and that quarterback.
100%. I mean, they do a great job, and, Jalen Hurts can squat the house. So,
yes,
they do a good job of just, winning the line of scrimmage. It all starts right there, and they get really low, and they've perfected it.
Take me back to the Jordan Love draft. How many different players did you have penciled in for that draft pick?
What pick were we? I can't remember. What pick? Yeah, I'd say 20.
Yeah. How many players did you have on the board that you were thinking of taking? If the draft played out how you thought of it.
Yeah, there were certainly a couple, and I think it's a credit to Goody and his staff just having that vision of if you don't have a quarterback in today's game, you're screwed. Yeah. So let's just throw it out there. It's just tough. So you need to have that position solidified, and we're lucky we got him because I think he's not only a great player, but I think he's an even better person. And I just love the energy he comes in with each and every day, and he works his tail off, and he's continuing to develop as a leader.
It's like taking a test, but you don't get your grade till 3 years later because you draft him and then you sit him, and everybody is like, you wasted 2 years with Rodgers, or you don't take a wide receiver. Were you taking a wide receiver?
Yeah, potentially if the right guy was there. But
who would that have been?
Well, I mean, there were some good ones in that draft. So I know Ayuk went.
He went one before?
Yeah, I believe so. I think San Francisco traded up.
Would you have taken Ayuk if he was there?
I think potentially. I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody in our organization, but I think that certainly would have been in the discussion. I think Justin Jefferson went
22.
Yeah, Chase. We knew he was going to be gone. So, but yeah, Jefferson was right there in the wheelhouse. So, I mean, there's always you better have a few players that are kind of there for you. And I think the controversy of that whole deal was that we traded up to go get Jordan. If we would have stayed there, picked him, I think it would have been less. Obviously, it still would have been a big story, but I think the fact that we went up to go get him.
Yeah, that's a great point.
But I do think, obviously, it was the right decision.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. And I thought you guys were...
I need that support from our Packer fans.
I think you're good. I think you're good on that. But you have to place that call to Aaron?
Yeah.
How was that?
Interesting. I think he was shocked.
Okay, I'll play Aaron and you call me. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Coach, what happened?
I don't think that was the words that were used.
Like what the bleep?
I think there was more of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
what the bleep just happened?
I will say, I mean, whether that was why or whatnot, but he did go out and had 2 pretty damn good years back to back.
Yeah, you pissed him off.
Yeah.
Yeah. What memories do you have playing for the Omaha Beef?
Oh, the Omaha Beef. Probably the rump roasters, which were these 300-pound men, 300-plus pound men that would go out there at halftime and perform for the crowd.
That's what you remember?
No, not really, but just thought it was a good story.
What kind of quarterback were you for the Omaha Beef?
Probably not a very good one. No, I was kind of a runaround guy and could make some plays with my legs.
Do your players ever bring up your career?
No.
They don't. Do you ever bring up your career?
I'm sure they do behind my back and probably make fun of me a little bit. But
do you have your Omaha Beef jersey?
I do not.
Damn. I'd love to have that. I'd love to hang that in the man cave.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If you ever found your Omaha Beef jersey.
I don't think I think the budget was a little bit different. They probably reused that for the next 5 years. So
sometimes we get caught up in, oh, you never played the game. But you played the game, you didn't play, at the NFL level.
Sure.
How much does that impact you, do you think, especially when you're calling plays and trying to put yourself in the position of Jordan or Aaron?
Well, I think having the quarterback background certainly helps. I think it allows you to kind of see the game and feel the game through the lens of the quarterback, which is, I think, most play callers are trying to do. And how do you set that guy up for success and ultimately score as many points as you can? But, I don't think it necessarily matters. You've seen great coaches that have never played football that go on and have great careers. And, but I was fortunate for my time. I started out at Western Michigan as a walk-on and was a receiver. And then when I transferred to Saginaw Valley, I didn't really know if I was going to play quarterback or receiver, and it worked out that way. And I started for 3 years, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Paulie.
Dan, I got a couple updates about Coach LaFleur's time at the Omaha Beef. I'm on beeffootball.com, as always.
Of course you are.
I already was before you got here, Coach.
Yeah.
Are they still rolling right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You went into the Hall of Fame in 2024, the Beef Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That was a
Round of applause.
probably my proudest accomplishment.
And Dan, also, if you go to their website, you can get custom jerseys, so you could have one made for yourself, Coach.
You know what? Maybe my wife can do that for me for my birthday or something.
Christmas. That'd be nice. Nice little beef gift there. But it's great to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
And good luck with the draft. Who are you taking again?
That's a great question.
Okay, that's right. Great.
A lot of unknowns in this draft, guys. A lot of unknowns. So
Wait. There they are, right there.
who are we taking? You guys tell me.
I don't know. You guys.
I don't know. Pick 23.
You don't normally take a wide
there you go.
receiver. Now you're going to take a wide receiver.
What do the fans want? I'm sure they want some wide receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
want
get it
wide
all the
receiver.
time. So I go to my kids' basketball events, and certainly somebody will just slip me a piece of paper with their pick for us.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you could go, oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Thanks. I never would have known that. Man, maybe you get a wide receiver.
We'll see.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. He is Matt LaFleur, the Packers head coach.